Professor in Dance Science at the University of Wolverhampton. Been here for 25 years, mainly focusing on the physiological demands of dance performance and looking at the injury incidence in dancers.
Hi, I'm Lucille Marshall. I run Body Synergy in Birmingham, and I began as a dancer when I was 3 and trained in ballet and contemporary dance. I went on to do an undergraduate in London at Roehampton University in dance and sport and exercise science. Then I went on to do my masters at Laban and studied in dance science, and Matthew Wine was my supervisor for my thesis.
She's just done the warm-up at the moment and we worked out the starting speed of the test, and now the fun sort of starts.
Hi, my name is Sarah Scott and I've been teaching pole for the past 8 years, and I currently teach the expert teacher training around the country as well as my own workshops. I've got a gym and a studio in Wellington, Somerset, where I teach privates and training sessions there, and I also have an online training programme called Off the Pole.
So today we're going to do 2 tests with the dancers. The first one is a VO2 max test, which is looking at their maximum oxygen consumption that you can consume, and we do this one on the treadmill, and they wear some apparatus with a mask that's attached to an analyzer, so we're measuring their expired breath. We push them on the treadmill until they can't run any faster, or if we increase the speed of the treadmill, their oxygen consumption doesn't increase anymore, and that's what we call their VO2 max.
I think that it's interesting for me as a teacher to have some knowledge about what pole does to the body in order for me to create a class that gets people fitter. When people come to a class, they want to know that they are doing it as an exercise form, so it'll be interesting to get some data about what pole actually does to the body, so that we can structure our classes better and provide the best experience for people.
So today when we came in, there was in a scientific lab, there's lab coats everywhere, lots of crazy pieces of equipment everywhere, so it's a little bit intimidating to start off with, especially when we're being told by some of the researchers what other sporting activities, some of their results. So a little bit of competition, especially with the contemporary dancers when they told us what their results were, but we got hooked up to the treadmill, had to wear a mask, which initially kind of made you look a bit crazy, but wasn't too bad. Had to get taken through the VO2 max testing, sprinting as fast as we could. It wasn't actually as bad as we thought it was going to be, and we performed okay, I think, but definitely not a sprinter. Definitely better as a pole dancer, I think. And yes, that was the VO2 max.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Robertson. I'm an ex-pole ambassador. I'm the director of Girls That Fit Pole and Aerial Fitness, which is a studio I run in Wiltshire, UK. I teach workshops internationally, perform, compete, and have a couple of online programs, including my handstand fundamentals program and also my Live, Love, Bend flexibility online. So when I arrived today, I was feeling quite nervous, being a pole dancer now predominantly, so not really doing any other kind of fitnessy stuff. Like I go for a run like occasionally, but just generally I'm training on the pole. I was a little bit nervous about the treadmill and what it was going to kind of entail, and how hard I was going to be pushed. So like what intensity it was going to go to. So I was feeling a little bit nervous. So first of all, they did all my measurements. So I did weight, height, body fat. The equipment we were wearing was a gas mask, a gas analyzer which kind of sits over the shoulders, and a heart rate monitor. So we'd been told before we started that they'd done a study recently with contemporary dancers, and they told us that they'd got up to 8 minutes on the treadmill, and they were progressively increasing the speed of the treadmill. I think it was kind of every 30 seconds, every minute. So they were progressively increasing that, and the contemporary dancers had got to 8 minutes. So we kind of had that in our heads, I think, that was what we were going to aim for. Got my heart rate up, I was breathing heavily, and that was to test the oxygen consumption. So yeah, that was all good. And then straight away after that, we had our heart rate taken. They had like a machine with all the information coming up on it. And then we had the blood testing, which was for blood lactate.
In the afternoon, we're going to actually get them to do some routines on the pole, also wearing a portable version of what we used in the morning. and this allows us to look at the cardiorespiratory demands of doing pole dance. In both cases, we're going to collect blood lactate, and this gives an indication of the anaerobic content of the work that they've actually just performed, both on the treadmill and also when they're on the pole.
So this afternoon we did more testing, but this time we took the equipment onto the pole. Initially it was a little bit awkward because we had kind of wires and masks and things and harnesses to wear, but we got used to it, and it was surprising what we could actually do on the pole with the equipment on. It's going to be interesting to see the difference between the VO2 max and what we did on the pole, and so we can compare the results and get some information.